My name is Ryan. I'm 13 years old and I have Asperger syndrome. Most teachers know a bit about Asperger's, but most don't fully understand it. I want to teach you more about the syndrome so that you can help the many Asperger students that you have in your classes both now and in years to come. So what is Asperger's? Autism is a neurodevelopmental disorder, which means that it is a problem in the way the brain and nerves develop, so it affects the way a person's brain and body works. It is called a spectrum disorder because there is a huge range of levels of autism. At the more severe end of the autism range, people have difficulty controlling their bodies. They may make noises, flap their arms, spin around a lot, or be unable to talk. These children probably go to a special school. At the mildest end of the spectrum, people go to a regular school, are generally very smart, and look just like everybody else, but have trouble communicating with other children. People at this mild end of the spectrum have Asperger syndrome. Asperger syndrome is something that you are born with. It basically means that your brain processes information differently from other people. People with Asperger's are often very smart, but are not seen that way because they struggle to get along with other people socially. Now let's look at the effects of Asperger's syndrome. People with Asperger's have a hard time making and keeping friends. It might seem strange to you that having friends is something that is hard to do because to all of you it is easy. It is something that you've always done. For people with Asperger's, it is hard because we don't process information in the same way that you do. One example is that people with Asperger's find it hard to understand what people's facial expressions mean. Some are obvious, like I can tell when someone is happy, but other facial expressions may seem very similar to me. Which of these two facial expressions do you think Asperger's people have the most difficulty with? If you chose the middle two, you were right. Asperger's people also struggle to understand the meaning of tones of voice people use. They have trouble with sarcasm and jokes. We tend to take things seriously when they were not always meant that way. It is also hard to tell the difference between friendly teasing and bullying teasing. We tend to take what people say literally and are hurt by it even if it was meant just as a joke. So what does all this mean for the classroom teacher? Asperger students are often seen as rude because they call out in class and interrupt other people when they talk. They may be seen as behavior problems because they are seemingly irrational reactions to everyday situations. They may be seen as time-intensive students as they frequently seem to be unfocused, require directions to be repeated and clarified many times, and often struggle to complete assignments. They are frequently regarded as immature and or attention-seeking. All of these actions are explained by Asperger's, but a few changes in your behavior can minimize the impact of their behavior on your class. Is the problem just Asperger's? Asperger's frequently goes hand in hand with other disorders, such as sensory issues, mood disorders such as phobias, anxiety, and depression, ADHD, motor issues/difficulties such as Tourette's, tics, and dysgraphia, and OCD. So how can you help an Asperger student succeed in your classroom? 1. Clearly explain your expectations. Try to speak slowly so they can keep up with what you're saying. You should explain yourself clearly so they understand exactly what you want them to do. Instead of saying tidy up, you could say, can you collect the papers and put them in the tray? Wording it this way will help them understand the directions clearly to avoid confusion. Try to use concrete language. Figurative language and sarcasm can be very confusing. Check in with your Asperger student as the class begins independent work to clarify that they understand your expectations. 2. Multitasking is very challenging for Asperger students. Break down tasks into manageable steps. Providing written step-by-step directions or graphic organizers can help keep them organized and stay on task. Don't ask them to listen and take notes at the same time. They often struggle to do so. Providing class notes can help them succeed. If they are not under the stress of trying to get everything copied down, they can focus on listening to the explanations, so this helps them understand. 3. Problems working with other people in the classroom. Asperger students often feel like outcasts. Being chosen last or not at all for group work can further lower their self-esteem. Consider assigning partners or preparing a sympathetic student who will be willing to work with them. You should understand they don't respond well to change. So while it may seem like they're being bossy, they're just trying to avoid unexpected changes. Let them know if other kids are getting frustrated or angry with them, as they often miss these social cues that tell them that. 4. Distractions. Students with Asperger's are often very distractible, both from external and internal distractors. External distractors can come from noise or movement in the classroom. Internal distractors are when a student gets lost in their own thoughts. Often external distractions can lead to internal distractions, which are much more difficult to control. Have set routines in the classroom, especially for less structured times of the day, such as arrival and dismissal. Be aware of sensory issues and be prepared to make necessary changes to avoid sensory issues causing a distraction. Example, provide headphones to cut out background noise, avoid wearing of perfume, allow wearing jacket in class, etc. Working in a group can be stressful and distracting. Consider allowing to work alone or assign role of student observer for some projects. Have a secret signal to use to keep your Asperger student on task without making it obvious to other students. 5. Beyond your classroom. Once a teacher has strategies in place, life is much easier for both the Asperger student and for the class as a whole. However, issues may continue in other places, such as in special classes, the lunchroom, and on the bus. Students with Asperger's have difficulty transferring knowledge to new situations. Specifically, teach your Asperger's student that the rules that you have applied to help them apply in other settings too, not just in your classroom. Share your successful strategies with other teachers who have regular interactions with your Asperger's student. Consistency is a key. Remember, you are not only teaching Asperger students what they need to know academically, but you are in part a social coach too. Be patient. You may find yourself thinking, I shouldn't have to teach Johnny this at his age. Keep in mind that Asperger students, you do have to teach them basic behavioral rules, as they do not pick up on them naturally like other children and have to be explicitly taught. 6. Problems with homework. At school, Asperger students don't only have to work hard academically, but also have to work hard to try and fit in socially. Students with Asperger's are often exhausted by the end of a school day. Allow flexibility with homework assignments. Since the purpose of homework is to reinforce new skills, is it more important that Johnny completes every problem on page 15 or that he proves he's mastered the skill? Since many Asperger's students have motor difficulties, writing is a challenge. Often written assignments in class are modified, but this is sometimes overlooked when homework is assigned. Don't lose sight of the fact that the skills the students master are what is important. The way in which they prove mastery can be flexible. 7. Other problems Asperger students may face. They may have trouble focusing for long periods of time, so be prepared to give them brain breaks. Something that can be very stressful is making choices, deciding between one option or another. It can help to limit the number of choices they are given. Just don't limit their choices too much, though as they like to have a say in things. They may be hypersensitive to sights, sounds, and smells, so be prepared and understanding to seemingly extreme or irrational reactions. Don't lose sight of the fact that this is a disability. While many of the behaviors can be annoying, they are beyond the student's control and are not done with malice. Many people with Asperger's have gone on to accomplish great things in life. Albert Einstein, Isaac Newton, and Bill Gates are a few very famous examples of what amazing things people with Asperger's can accomplish. Be sure to do what you can to encourage your Asperger's students. They may be the great minds of the future. If you want more kid-friendly information or helpful hints for the classroom, read Can I Tell You About Asperger Syndrome by Judy Welton. I created this presentation as I am on a mission to make the world a more accepting place for people with Asperger's. And in addition to this presentation, I've also created a presentation explaining the syndrome to children. My hope is that through education, I can reduce the bullying endured by many children with Asperger's. In recognition of my work, I was awarded the 2011 Wheeler Center Outstanding Young Achiever Award.